this is a warning shot that we've had this week, but it's going to happen again.
System outages have impacted two big Canadian companies in the last week, Rogers and WestJet, leaving Canadians left without service and delays in travel, causing frustration.
Pretty detrimental to everyday life, really. For me, I drive a truck quite often, and I rely on GPS. And for that few days in particular, I was kind of shut down.
It's a little scary because of the lack of competition in the marketplace.
It's kind of shows how we can all be a bit unstable. But we recovered from it pretty fast, and it had no long-term impact, so it kind of also shows that we were prepared for that to some degree.
Yeah, it's a bit vulnerable. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen. You think they have control of that, and you never really get real answers after, right? So
usually, when the internet goes down, it can be annoying. But when a big outage occurs, it affects more than our social media or binge show watching. Gregory Taylor is an associate professor at the University of Calgary. He studies telecommunications policy and says a break in the system is going to happen again.
And so it's about building some redundancy into the system. And by that, we mean a secondary route for our data traffic to flow. And we really don't have a lot of that in Canada.
Taylor explains that 21st century technologies are firmly rooted in the previous century.
When you take a look at what happened with WestJet in the last week or so, that service outage happened because of a train derailment outside of Calgary. And what that shows is that telecommunications, which also brought in the internet, was built along the train lines. And this is 100 years ago.
Taylor says secondary systems need to be built in Canada's internet infrastructure.
But when it's running along railway lines and other things, we need to build this national network, and we need a backup. So it's physical fiber in the ground, and these things will be necessary.
In Calgary, Danina Falkenberg, City News.